So welcome to our November LinkedIn Live. Normally we just jump straight in, talk about how we found the last quarter, any trends that we've been noticing. But before we do that, there have been some exciting changes in the office since the last LinkedIn Live. So since then, Jane has actually transitioned into her new role as head of finance recruitment in London, which means that she'll soon be relocating back to London. So I've actually stepped into her shoes here, which obviously is a nice time to introduce Natalie. And Natalie joined us in August. Honestly, Natalie, it feels like you've been here forever. You've fit into the team, into the role perfectly. But interested to know how you found it since you joined.
Hi, Sarah, and thank you so much for the introduction and inviting me to the first LinkedIn Live for me. I agree. I feel like I've been at Tiger for the longest time already. It's been a really nice transition, and thank you so much for welcoming me to the team. I'm really happy to join Tiger, and I'm really looking forward to see what it brings in the future. So just a little bit about me. I've been working in the Swiss recruitment industry for the last 19 years. I started in a classic recruitment agency, and then I moved into an MSP in 2017, where I was supporting two major Swiss banks, which was Credit Suisse and UBS, as well as Zurich Insurance. So in this role, I was working in the team that managed the global MSP, so the contingent workforce landscape. And in this role, I was able to collaborate with senior hiring managers and support them with their recruitment needs. So going back to your question, coming from this environment to suddenly working with private offices and private family offices, let's say, it's been a really big change, definitely.
Yeah. So, well, interesting. Actually, around the time that you joined the team is when we noticed a significant rise in private and family office roles. It's been really interesting to kind of work on these roles and positions, added a new dynamic to the type of roles that we've worked on before. So, I mean, just to cover some of the roles that we've worked on, traveling PAs for family offices and families between kind of Spain and Switzerland. We've had housekeepers in Geneva, chalet managers in Verbier, Crans-Montana. And interestingly, when families have been moving here, or family offices have, it's meant that their families have been moving as well. So it's been sometimes roles within the office, but then also they have children, they need nannies, so helping with their household staff as well. So it's been really kind of interesting working on the different variety of roles, because each role is so different, because you're working with personalities, not just kind of a job description as well.
Yeah, you're definitely right. You know, I was introduced to a totally different industry, one that I've never worked in before. And it's really interesting to work on these roles because, again, coming from banking, finance, and IT to then private office, completely new to me. So you mentioned that there was a significant rise in roles within family offices and private roles, you know, around the time that I started. What are your thoughts as to why this suddenly changed?
There'll be a few reasons, but I think one of the main reasons that we're seeing this real uplift in these types of roles within Switzerland is the UK major tax reforms. And these were largely affected wealthy foreign residents. And these changes are going to mean that our clients in the UK going forwards are going to have greater UK tax exposure. So that might take a few years to come into play, but actually it's prompting the high net worth and the ultra high net worth individuals to think about where best to relocate or where best to have their offices in the next 10 to 20 years. And, you know, Switzerland is an obvious solution to that. And I think we've seen this uplift in various locations. So the traditional kind of Zurich and Geneva, but actually Lucerne, Crans-Montana, and interestingly Milan, that's also an area that's kind of at the moment seeing a lot of that kind of movement.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. Switzerland does offer stability, clear rules, and in some cantons, really attractive tax advantages. So that's definitely probably one of the reasons why a lot of them are moving over to Switzerland. So definitely.
And I think a lot of these clients that we're working with now are the UK long-established clients. So it's been really good with our kind of global teams to be able to offer them, let's say, kind of give them feet on the ground support in the countries that they're moving to. So that's been a really nice offering as well. But moving on to other hiring trends, a really fun theme that's continued is working with high-end brands in pop-up stores. So we did a lot of this last year and the year before. Currently, we're working with staffing a Swiss-wide campaign in Globus's Swiss-wide for a really lovely brand. And just last weekend, we were staffing an event at the Auto Messe. So this was a high-end auto firm that we were supporting staff with. And actually, that's really lovely. It's got a lot of energy in these roles. They're quite creative. And I was able to, I think you did also, Natalie, go down with my family to the event, meet the staff that are there that we've provided, speak with the client, but also kind of just enjoy the event ourselves as well.
Yeah, it was really nice to visit the Auto Messe in Zurich over the weekend, definitely. And I also did get to meet some of the staff that were working on the exhibitions. Was really nice. On that note, we are constantly looking out for these profiles. We have a lot of exhibitions and, very great projects like this coming up in the future. So if you're interested, please do register with us and we'll get in contact with you, definitely.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention it's not just family offices and private roles that we are working on. Going back to my roots, I am supporting various banking and insurance clients, as well as IT consultancies and also tech startups, which is really fun. Speaking of tech companies, actually, just this morning, we had an amazing call with a dynamic Swiss tech startup, which is looking to further grow their engineering team. So that's going to be really great to look out for to all the engineering professionals out there in Switzerland. But actually, some of the points we did discuss was the availability of the skills on the market and how being open to the languages, for example, maybe a B1 German speaker, but fluent English speaker can really widen their candidate pool.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to speak to them.
I would agree, and their thoughts on that mirrored what we were saying. They're looking for in some instances, quite specific skills. So kind of loosening up on the language, saying, okay, intermediate German or no German, but as long as they've got these skills, is appropriate for their business because the skills are the main thing that they're kind of looking for. So that's an interesting change in the market. I think that would be the first tech role in a long time that didn't require German. So yeah, that's an interesting change in the market. But yeah, it's great to have you on board with those types of roles as well, to pull on your network within Switzerland and just have you working on the tech and the banking side as well. But finally, I would like to mention our salary and benefits survey. This is being released in the second week of January. So yeah, it's a great update on the current market conditions. It benchmarks salary ranges in different divisions, various roles. So it's a really big help for both candidate and client, we find. So if you're thinking about going back into the market, looking for a job, maybe you can use this to see, okay, now in 2026, what could I be looking at as a salary range realistically? Also for clients, a lot of our officers moving over, they ask for this, they use this to kind of build and their strategy for recruitment going forward. So yeah, if you're interested in this, candidate or client, there's a link below. You can click on this and just register your interest, and we'll make sure that that's sent to you in the new year. But Natalie, I'd like to thank you for your very first LinkedIn Live. And yeah, it's been really lovely chatting with you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And I'm really looking forward to the next LinkedIn Live.
Bye.
Okay, bye.